salute to my crypto fam, salute to my Bittensor fam. You know, I want to talk about Bittensor today because I think a lot of people are sleeping on not just TAO, but the entire AI narrative. So I want to kind of break down my thesis and why I continue to personally load my bag on TAO, but also navigate across the ecosystem as well, like TAO and the subnet. So if you like these Bittensor videos, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and keep your favorite crypto and door-to-door entrepreneur inside the algorithms. I know the TAO community, y'all see me do those crazy videos, but I want to get serious with you guys because I think a lot of people are missing out on this opportunity. Bittensor is not a top 10 cryptocurrency, but when you compare it to other cryptocurrencies in the top 10, in my opinion, it's undervalued and needs to be repriced. I seen a post by TAO Treasuries. I think I recreated the post and put it on my X page. But what it's showing is it's showing all the companies, all the cryptocurrencies that have treasury companies, right? And when you compare Bittensor TAO to all of the other cryptos that have treasury companies, literally BNB has 3. Hyper has 3. I think Solana has multiple. I know Bitcoin has 110. But when you look at the market caps of those cryptocurrencies that are, ahead of TAO or above TAO in the top 10, TAO has the same amount of treasury companies as those top 10 cryptocurrencies. And I think it's about a 4x away from Hyper. So that alone tells me that Bittensor needs to be reprice, right? Because when you compare it to other cryptocurrencies that have treasury companies, they're already at tens of billions of dollars, and Bittensor is sitting at a mere $4-5 billion market cap. So I truly believe when I look at tokens like ADA, even Hyper, I think Hyper is top 12, but tokens like ADA, Tron, it blows my mind that Bittensor itself is not a top 10 cryptocurrency. I truly believe Bittensor can and should hit a $100 billion market cap this cycle. On top of that, you're able to now trade TAO subnets and multiple subnets on multiple chains, right? So we are putting ourselves in a position to garner a lot of that liquidity from the Solana chain, from the Base chain. This actually opens up the avenues for more liquidity to come into TAO and really help those subnets out and really help the Bittensor ecosystem mature. Because a lot of people forget that Bittensor doesn't have VC companies and all that, right? Besides just like the major billionaires behind it, Yuma and Barry Silbert and those guys, it really didn't have any VCs or anything like that. So this thing has been ground bred, community led, and it's amazing how far Bittensor and TAO has come. And for them to be put in a position to now have their, these subnets with liquidity on multiple chains, that's going to open the floodgates to onboard new people within the Bittensor ecosystem. And we know all it takes is for a couple of these subnets to become 500 million runners, maybe a couple $1 billion runners, and it will also help the Bittensor, the native token TAO, its price appreciate as well. So that's also something to look into, right? We got institutional interest when you think about all of these treasury companies and the institutions that's actually been loading up on TAO. In fact, there's been multiple OTC deals done for subnets, right? Hundreds of $1,000 OTC deals being poured into subnets. Now, the elephant in the room here is that TAO actually has a halving. Yes, a halving, just like Bitcoin. And this halving is going to happen in December. And the funny thing about it is, if you talk to anybody in the Bittensor ecosystem, the fudders, they love TAO, but they don't love TAO. They like to FUD it, right? And they always talk about how the miners are dumping and things like that. Well, the cool thing about the halving is that it slashes those mining rewards in half. So yeah, the miners probably are not going to like that, but when you think about how it creates scarcity for the native token, it's only going to take the TAO price up. Similar to what we see from Bitcoin. When Bitcoin has a halving, within 6 to 18 months, Bitcoin sets a new all-time high. So what a lot of people are expecting, pending we don't have a bear market, right, that this halving will create scarcity, bring down those miner rewards, and help the TAO price itself appreciate. And if the TAO price appreciates, the miners really don't lose, because miners are already accumulating TAO. And if TAO 10x's, 15x's, well, they don't really lose. But if TAO doesn't move and they slash those minor rewards, then of course this could be, you know, it can get a little ugly. And anything can turn into a capitulation event. But when you think about the people that are behind the TAO, these are like big brain people, the things that's being built within the Bitcoin ecosystem. Most of those subnets already generate revenue, right? And you know, a lot of people would say Web 2 and Web 3 don't translate. I'm not here to convince you. What I'm telling you is, when I invest, I like cryptocurrencies that generate revenue, because what that does is it puts the project in a position where they can buy back their token, right? Because they generate revenue, which can help holders, right? Because why are we here? We want to see price go fucking up, right? We want the price to appreciate. So TAO has a halving. They have now cross-chain gateways for people to come in. When you think of, I thought that was a B, but well, for people to come in when you think about, you know what I mean, getting that new liquidity and onboarding new users within the Bitcoin, within the Bittensor ecosystem. Very undervalued when you think about all of these treasury companies and the institutional interest that we're seeing within TAO. I mean, again, compare TAO, Bittensor, price and market cap to other top 10 cryptocurrencies that have treasury companies. Then you will see how we are severely early in, you know, TAO is like an infant. And then of course, you know, can it reach the top 10, right? Can TAO reach a $100 billion market cap? Again, when I look at the other tokens that sit at 100 billion, and I think about the intersection, the cross intersection between Bitcoin tokenomics and the biggest narrative in crypto, which is artificial intelligence. On top of this, which no one's talking about, treasury companies are becoming a crypto narrative. Why is Ethereum pumping right now? Because everybody is talking about these treasury companies that are about to buy Ethereum. It's creating a narrative. Guess who sits in that narrative? Bittensor. There's some other good coins that have treasury companies, but Bittensor also sits in the narrative. So we are literally before our eyes seeing a new narrative being pushed, a new agenda being pushed to, as a catalyst to make price go up for some of these cryptocurrencies. And that narrative is treasury companies, right? Wall Street treasury companies buying top tokens, buying cryptocurrencies. And not every cryptocurrency has a treasury company, but Bittensor and TAO does, and they have billionaires backing it. Anyway, let me know what you think about Bittensor. Let me know in the comments, how high do you think the price can go? Because you know we're here for price to go up. What do you think about TAO and the subnets being able to be traded on Solana, Base? I know a lot of people would like to see a little bit more liquidity. Me too, but you know, we're headed in a step in the right direction. And like I said, research these subnets, man. They're all, not all, but most of them are starting to create these templates where they can generate revenue to actually buy back the token. Anyway, it's getting hot. I'm starting to sweat. Your boy still gotta go to the gym. Appreciate everybody in the Bittensor ecosystem and in the crypto space that's watching this video, watching this channel. If you're watching this, you are early. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.